know, if we had 4 corners, 5 corners that can play that were equally as good, we'd all find a way to make them play. Because for what we're asking a guy to do, you can wear a guy out. You can. Now, we're going to help guys. We're going to give those guys some helps in certain situations, certain defenses, but I would say most of the time they're going to be up in there and they're going to be competing up close. But yeah, I know for myself, I don't have a problem with the more the merrier, believe me, and I think Coach Durkin would say the same.
Just a few weeks in, but how do you feel about the depth overall at the position? You mentioned getting more guys in. Do you feel okay about the depth right now, or?
I think we've got to develop some more guys. We definitely need to develop some more guys. We've got 3 for sure that are there: Channing, Jordan, and Blake. I think we can count on them now. They've still got a long way to go, but we got to bring along a couple of the younger guys along.
Does that open an opportunity for Keith Washington?
Oh, there's, and they've been told, the room has been told that there's going to be 3 guys coming into the secondary. One coming, a transfer from Stanford coming in, and then a true freshman, and then we got a safety that likes to play corner with Tyreek Kennel. So they know that their back's up against the wall. We got to see how they handle them.
How familiar are you with the kid from Stanford?
Wayne was here over the weekend, spent some time with him. I watched a lot of film on him, and I think he's the right kind of body, bigger body. It's kind of like Channing, a lot of length, and he's pretty good corner. What I saw with Stanford, he did pretty well.
What does it take for a young guy to play that position?
Well, certainly all the athletic things we just talked about, the eyes, the hands, the feet, the hips, all that good stuff. But more than that, too, is the mental aspect of it. You have to be mentally strong because, you're just not going out there and covering man-to-man. There's other things you're doing within this defense, and you have to be able to handle checks and listen for checks or possibly make checks. So the mental aspect of it as far as knowing the game of football, and then the mental aspect of knowing, hey, I'm going to get beat sometimes. These guys are good. They get paid too. They're gonna make catches. I just got to learn to dust it off. So that kind of mental part of it will be big as well.
When you got here, what were your initial impressions? Kyle mentioned the depth a little bit, but when you were just looking at what you had, did you look at it as more of a project? Were you pleased with what you had to start with?
Well, starting from fresh, watching film, and you only get to see so many guys play. Not all the young guys played, so I just said, you know what? Basically, as a defensive staff, we said, you know what? Let's start anew. This depth chart means absolutely nothing. Throw you guys out there, and how you play and how you practice, that's where you're going to be. And that happened early in the spring ball. The roster moved a little bit, the depth chart moved, and now it's kind of settled. As I said earlier, we got to get those guys underneath those 3, Channing, Jordan, and Blake. Just got to pick up those games. B. Watson's got to pick up his game. Terry Richards, he's hurt. So that kind of hurts us, because there's a guy we're counting on to compete. But yeah, we just started fresh.